Well, hello RVers, welcome back to RVing with Mini Winnie. And the project today was to work on the onboard generator. It's an Onan Microlite 4000. Hadn't been serviced. We don't know, well, we don't know when it was last serviced. So it had run and had been working okay. It would cut out every once in a while, but seemed to be a little bit low on oil. So we decided to do an oil change. So when you first come into open your compartment for the Onan generator, there on this version, there are two clips, one on each side. You just open, and that allows you to remove this panel to access it. And see, it's a good idea to run it for a little while before you change the oil, just to warm it up. It apparently flows better that way, and so did do that. Have drained it and am getting ready to put the new oil in to the generator. Now, to drain the oil, you would come under here, and normally there'd be a plate covering that hole, which I guess is a T30 Torx screws. You would take one screw all the way out to allow you to move the plate, loosen the other one to move it out of the way, and then remove your drain plug, which I have already done, and drain the oil. And I just remove the plug with a, let's see, it's a 9/16 socket. Got plug sitting right there. Put it back in once I'm going to do that right now. Just give me a second here. And put that back in. Finger tight, and then you don't want to over tighten it, so I'll just hold the head of the wrench and get it as tight so I don't over torque it, and that is good enough. And so we got the drain plug back in, the oil into the oil pan. Didn't have one, and the auto parts store sells these, and then I take it in and they'll dump it out and recycle the oil for me, and then I can get the container back for the next time. Kind of inspired me to do this was an RV Life newsletter article about maintaining your generator, and I thought about it, and I think I hadn't done it, and you should run it at least once a month for a while under a load. So I did do that, and it did do okay, but when we've been out using it, it would sometimes shut off on its own, or when we put a big load on it, it just shuts off. And checking the oil seemed to be a bit low, so I thought a good time to change the oil. So we did that, got some oil locally. I'm going to put the oil in, and went online and ordered an air filter. That should be here in a couple of days, and we'll replace that as well. All right, and now the cap and the funnel, and fill it with oil. I recommended 5W40. They only have that in a gallon jug at the auto parts store, but so you could also use 5W30. And since this oil was so dirty, we will probably be changing it fairly soon again, and we'll just get that. And this only takes 1.6, particular model, 1.6 quarts. So we're gonna go slow here. We'll put in about 1.5 of these, and then save it to top it off as needed in the future. And when you're checking, you want to run it a little bit, then make sure it's level, let it rest, put your dipstick in, wipe it off, then screw it all the way in and take it back out, and then read it. And it was not empty or all the way down to the ad, but it was in the middle. It wasn't full. So we knew it needed some oil. And just from judging how dark it was, the oil was pretty old and dirty and needed to be changed. So we're doing that. So that was all of that quart. Open the second one, and this should only take about half of this one. And go slow, it doesn't overflow. It's pretty bright in the afternoon over here. It was much nicer early in the day. It was nice and shady on this side. So it's pretty, I think we're still a little low, but I'm gonna use the dipstick to show me. And wipe that dipstick off really well. It's an old towel. And see where we're at. And we're still a little bit light, so a little more of this. And I think that right to it. And recommendation: make sure you have an old dirty towel or some paper towels when you open that thing to drain. Good to have them all through this whole process. Get oil on your hands. And maybe even lay something down so you don't get the oil on your driveway like I did. And got the oil in, and looked like it was reading well on the meter, but it's so clean now. Hard to see. I will start her up. And I guess because we'd started her earlier, she started up nice and quick that time, really easily. And we'll be waiting the air filter right here. Got one on order from Amazon, and that should be here hopefully in the next day or two. And we'll replace that as well, and this thing would be pretty well serviced. And then I'll just remember at least once a month to start her up, let her run for anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour. And once it's started up, to run like the fan or the AC in the RV, so it is running under a load, and that'll just keep her from not getting all rusty or lazy, but keeps it in good shape. Make sure she's working hard. So I think that's it for now. And what we'll do is put the cover plate back on. Make sure you get that down in the lock position. Now, if I had the cover plate for underneath the oil pan plug, I'd make sure that would have put that on already, but it's missing, and we're looking to see if I can replace that. But there you go. That's changing the oil on our Microlite 4000 from Onan, our onboard generator. Thanks for watching.